It's time once again to chat with the mayor of New Hope, Kathi Hemken. How are you today?
Hi, Dave. It's raining like crazy outside.
Yeah, it is. We might have a few booms in the background from the thunder, so stick with us here, but the grass obviously needs it, so we're happy it's coming. We have a lot to talk about in the city of New Hope today. Let's start with the Rave Awards. We've been talking about what these are and how people can get involved. Give us a little recap and why now is the time to take some action.
Well, we want to recognize people who go above and beyond in their yards and in the inside of their homes just to keep their homes up. And they call this a Rave Award. We've been doing this every year for an awful long time. You can nominate yourself. You can nominate your neighbor. Basically, they'll take the nominations. They'll go visit your property, judge the award or judge what you've done, and then give out the awards. And so it's many different categories. It's just fun to see the categories. And then you get a big rock that says you're a Rave Award winner.
Very nice. More information on the city's website, newhopemn.gov. We talked in the past about the Hennepin County Tobacco Retailer Observation Visits. Give us a quick reminder. What are these and when are they going to take place?
Well, first of all, I want to make sure that people understand this is not a compliance check. This is not done by the police department. This is done by Hennepin County. And what they're doing is they're going into stores that sell tobacco products to make sure they're not making them tempting for young people. So they don't want them in pretty colors. They don't want them in pretty packaging that would tempt a younger person to buy tobacco products. And then they'll put all this information together and then they present it back to the cities so that we know what's going on. But they should be doing that through June and July.
We'll give you that update as that information comes back later this fall. City Services Survey, a chance for residents to give some feedback to the city. How does this process work and when does it begin?
Well, you should see the survey in your July water bill.
Okay.
If you don't get a water bill, you can go online. It'll be digital. You can also go to City Hall and pick up a survey and fill it out there. And the surveys have until the 17th of September to get them in. They're asking a couple new questions this year. How do you think the city did adapting to the pandemic? Mm-hmm. What do you think about the Civic Center Park and the pool and how's that going? And there was a third one, and I don't remember.
Okay.
How do you get your information? Okay. How would you like to get your information? So answering those questions really helps us as a city to get the information to people and let them know what people are thinking and what we're doing is good or bad.
All right. Watch for that coming out in July and make sure you participate. Scattered site housing. We've got a number of projects to update residents on today. Let's start at 4215 Louisiana. How is progress moving along there?
Well, that one's just about done. They were just putting up the stonework last week. So that's going on the market for $415. I understand there's a sale pending, but you know how that goes.
46 in go right ahead. 46 in Aquila. Tell us about that demolition.
That was the burned out house. We demolished that. So on the 28th of June, the council will look at prospective developers and the style of the house and pick one to actually sell the property to them for a house.
All right, let's move ahead to 52nd in Pennsylvania. This is a land that has some interest in it, I understand.
Same thing with that. We bought that, tore it down, and we're looking at again developers for that house that'll go there too. So once we pick those developers, they'll start building, and that house will go up lickety split.
All right, and final stop is on 47th Avenue. This is the Habitat House. What is happening there recently?
Well, the volunteers are starting to come in next week, or later this week and next week. They always need volunteers. You don't have to have a lot of skills to volunteer. They need people to help serve food. They need people to paint. They need people to clean up the yard. So just if you're feeling like volunteering, go to that address and just show up and you can help them put up the house for Habitat.
Right. And you can't miss it. There's a sign as you see out in front of that house. Business Networking Group, give us an update on the activities here. I understand one more time in the virtual world.
They are. Open to Business is the host for this meeting, and John wanted to do it virtually so that he could show people watching how quickly they can respond to you with the questions and answers. And so that one will be virtual. Starting September, that meeting will be in person. Don't know if it's going to be inside or outside, but that'll be an in-person meeting.
Very nice. We wanted to pass along that the grand opening that we were talking about over the past couple weeks happened. That is at Hammernix. What did that event look like?
Well, we did a ribbon cutting. There was a lot of corporate people there. They are open for business. If you're just wanting to see the amazing things they have, every kind of flooring you could ever imagine. And it's all in stock. So you can just, if you pick out something, you can just take it with you that day, or they'll deliver it. So Hammernix, a nice new business coming in. They're right off of 169 by Twin City Acoustics.
Very good. Let's go to the police department. A few items to update residents on here. First is Meals on Wheels. The staff continues to be involved in helping out, delivering meals.
Every week, it started out a little slow, but now apparently, from what I hear, that the sign-up list is pretty much getting full. So 2 police officers go out every week to deliver meals to seniors or whoever needs them, I guess. And the police officers love it. The people getting the meals love it. It's really a good way to connect with the community.
Certainly is. So let's talk about Heyday a little bit within the police department. They attended some meetings as this continues to come together. What's the latest we know about Heyday activities and dates?
This is going to be a little confusing.
Okay.
Heyday is the replacement for Duck Duck Dates.
Got it.
So they're having the ball tournaments the 15th to the 18th of July. They couldn't change that because these ball tournaments are scheduled a year in advance. So 15th to 18th of July, you can go online and see where they are. They're at the usual fields where they are. In those days, they'll probably be all over. But the actual Heyday event, that's August 14th. And that will be just a 5K race that you can sign up for and a beanbag tournament. And that's going to be over by Victory Park. They'll have the route laid out for the run. I understand that the women of today will not have the games there, and they will not have the kiddie parade.
Okay.
So, this is all a fallout from the pandemic, and everybody's sort of scrambling to get back together. And maybe next year we'll be back to what it was before.
That's right. For these summer festivals, I think baby steps is what is happening this year. Final note under police, we wanted to talk about just the chat that I had recently with the chief, a fun opportunity to sit down and find out some important things happening in the police department.
Well, our new chief, Chief Tim Hoyt, his whole mantra is to get out in the community, talk to people, let them know that we're there, the police are there, they want to help. They're not a hindrance, they're a help. So when he did the interview with CCX, if you happen to miss it, you can go onto the website that Dave is showing and you can see the chat with the chief.
Yep, ccxmedia.org under the New Hope tab. You will find it there. And also, I know it's been posted on the city's Facebook page as well. So make sure you get a chance to listen to that. And we're going to talk to the chief in a couple months just to keep up to date. Let's go to Public Works. Let's talk a little bit about some of the work at Civic Park, some in a good way finishing up and some in an unfortunate way still.
Well, an unfortunate way, they were picking up trash and they had to remove more graffiti from Civic Center Park. That just has to stop. I mean, it's just, it takes a lot of time and money to do that. And if you see that happening, you please call 911 and report it. We just need to get these kids or whoever's doing it to stop doing that. The good news is they put up some banners for the farmers market on Xylon. So those are looking real good. They have all the flowers up on Xylon and automatic waterers. So if you happen to be walking along the street and you get misted, it wasn't for you, it was for the plants.
But it might feel good this year, right?
It might.
Misted a little bit. Let's move ahead to projects and other things happening in the city. Some road work happening 38th in Maryland, and probably because of the nice, hot, warm weather, things are moving along well. Is that correct?
It is. That was a whole big mess. They did all the roads around Lions Park. Well, of course, they had to do some other stuff like they're lining the sewers and getting that all ready. They're telling me that the streets should be finally paved by the 2nd of July. However, I know they don't pave in the rain, and it is pouring rain today. It's Monday.
Right.
So it depends on how the week goes, whether or not they'll be able to get that final paving on, but their goal is the 2nd of July.
All right. Well, this next topic, I understand, may be the last time that we have to talk about it. Could this be true with railroad crossings?
I am not going to say this one more time. I'll say it once and I'm not saying it again. So Boone is open So all of the railroad crossings are open. They finished Boone, but it was really hot, so they had to close it off because of the tar had to settle up.
Oh,
And
sure.
it was too warm, so they couldn't, it looked like it was done, but it just wasn't quite complete.
All
So
right.
this cool, little bit cooler weather and the rain, they're both open, and I am not going to talk about railroad crossings again.
All right. I love it. We'll try not to bring it up at all. 42nd and Boone. Let's move up a little further on Boone. Some work to be coming here, and you have a little bit of an explanation of the process and how this is a cooperative work.
Well, Boone is the city street, and Rockford Road, 42nd, is the county road. And the county had anticipated redoing that intersection. And with that, we were going to put a new semaphore in that, had a little person walking and the little beeps and stuff. Well, since they don't have money to do the intersection.
Okay.
So Hennepin County is pushing that off till to 2023, where they'll do the ADA stuff. And at that time, we might be able to get the semaphore in, and they're going to redo the intersection not till 2024. But we, being the Public Works Department and the county, are working together. So if some money happens to come available and they do it sooner, we'll get that light in as soon as we can get that coordinated with the county. So hang in there. It will happen.
Okay.
It just won't happen this year, I don't think.
Understand. Let's move to Park and Rec. A lot happening in this area. Let's begin with some new classes. You've got a wide variety to talk about here.
We do have a wide variety, almost too many to mention. So again, I'm asking people to go to your InMotion, or you can go to City Hall and look at it there. There's still some classes that are available to sign up for. One of them is Safety Camp. Get yourself signed up for that if you haven't already. I understand there might be a little money in the police budget for some people who might not be able to afford Safety Camp. They might be able to help them a little bit with that. So this last week, we did the family story time in the park, right, with Cowgirl Jessie. And Cowgirl Jessie read a book, and there were about 95 people participating in it. It was a big hit. We also did the movie in the park this last week, and that was a big hit too. So that pavilion is getting a lot of use.
Very good to see. We have some fun pictures here and a story behind it about some work at the golf course. Who are these handy people helping out at the golf course?
Well, we have an engineering firm we work with called Stantec, and every year they have a volunteer day. And so they'll come to us and with a team of people and say, what can we do to help? So we had gotten $1,185 from the plant sale. We took that money, bought some little, when I say we, I didn't do it. The guy who runs the golf course did it.
Got it.
Bought some little trees to put in, got some sod. So this group from Stantec comes out, and they planted the trees, they laid the sod, they planted some other little bushes that we had, and then they did a barbecue for the workers and for the staff at the golf course. So it was a very nice gesture on their part. We really appreciate all the extra hands.
Fantastic. Some more fun pictures. Let's move over to Corner Park, and kids get ready to play on some new equipment there. Tell us about this process. It looks great.
That playground equipment is beautiful over there. So what we do with parks, we go to the community and ask them what they want to see. We tell them what the budget is. We show them the different pieces they can pick out within that budget. We let the kids, if there's kids at these meetings, or the parents, show us what they want, and then we order that equipment. And of course, we have to do the work to get the corner park ready, get rid of the old equipment, put the new equipment in. So that equipment's in, and the kids, as soon as it stops raining, the kids should be able to get out there and play on that.
All right, that looks nice. A couple other things in Park and Rec to touch on. Pickleball is booming and ever so popular, and you have some places in New Hope that are ready for pickleball players. Where are they?
Well, there's two courts, one at Civic Center Park and one at Hidden Valley. And those two courts have been repainted, but they can play tennis on them and pickleball. And to play pickleball, you use a different set of lines, and the pickleball players know which ones they are. Mm-hmm. But they've also got some hooks where they can pull the net down. So apparently the net in pickleball is a little shorter than that in tennis. So those two will be combination of pickleball and tennis courts. And then there's 3 courts at Meadow Lake School Park, and those are strictly pickleball courts. So the nets are lower and the painting is different. So you can use those anytime you want. There's some crack fill work that needs to be done, and that'll be done a little later in the summer. So if you're thinking that the courts are in bad shape, they are, we know that, but they'll get better. They'll fix them this summer.
Very nice. Let's quick stop at 3 facilities with Park and Rec. The first is the golf course, and just a quick mention to say that back patio is very busy. People can reserve that for all types of events.
They can. There was a graduation party and there was another picnic there out this weekend. So really a handy place to rent. They don't rent the inside of the golf course because there's golfers and they can't. They leave that front patio for the golfers, but the back patio, it's really kind of nice. It's in the shade, so it's cooler, and there's a little bit of breeze always back there. And if it rains, you're under cover. So if you need to rent something, it's a good place to have a graduation party. You don't have to clean the house.
I like it.
Just-
the golf course,
just
again,
move it
very
there.
busy. Another spot that you wouldn't expect to be too busy right now in the city is the ice arena. That place is bustling now. What is happening there?
They are. Well, they had the girls' high school elite tryouts this weekend, and the girls and boys are having the summer training program, and that's going on. There's open skating going on. The dryland training is still going on there. It's considering it's an ice arena and it's summer, it's a pretty busy place.
Yep, and the summer session of the skating school also going on, so plenty of activity there. Final note we want to pass along, the aquatic park. You've got some numbers here, and what we've been saying is true. It is getting very well used.
It is. So we're still looking for lifeguards. I understand everybody's looking for lifeguards, but just wanted people to know we're still doing that. So as of the 23rd of June, we have had 14,169 people come to the pool. It's amazing.
Fantastic.
So we're renting it out in the mornings to swim clubs, and then there's the swimming lessons right after that, and then it's open to the public after that. And of course, if there's lightning or rain, the pool is not open.
Understand. Yep.
We
very
want
good
to
idea.
keep those kids safe.
Excellent. Let's move ahead to human resources. A couple items here that relate to the police department with some recruitment going on, and also a quick note to make about some new CSO officers.
Well, we advertised for a new police officer. We got 28 qualified applicants.
Mhm.
That's huge. I mean, that's really good at this time.
Right.
So now what will happen now is the personnel board will look at these applications, and then the chief and the city manager will interview them, and then we'll hire a new police officer. The CSOs, that's the community service officers. We hired 2 young men. They started Monday the 28th. And so they will be out in the community doing these community things that we need, that we don't necessarily need a gun-carrying policeman to do.
Mhm. All right. Welcome to the 2 of them. And a final note for the police department is we've been talking about the body cams. And again, there's other elements involved in this. How is that process moving along, and who are some of the other partners to make this happen?
Well, you just don't put a body cam on and call it good.
Mhm.
So that data has to be collected. So there's a company called Solution Builders. They're an IT company that we work with. They will be collecting the data. Another company called Lotus, they will be storing the data so that these cams, once they get on the cops and in the cars, will be able to collect that data and then get stored. So we're looking for that to happen probably mid-July sometime. They'll do a little trial period with a few of the officers to make sure everything's working fine. And then they'll just roll it out to all the police officers.
Very good. We'll keep people up to date on that. A couple other final mentions. Farmers Market Food Truck Fridays continue to go well. Give us a little preview of the next time we can enjoy some of that fun.
I certainly hope people have their calendars out for
Yes.
this. There's lots and lots of dates. So the farmers market is open on Saturdays from 9 to 1 every day. They tell me that the corn will be available around the 4th of July. Apparently the people that plant the corn planted in greenhouses, so it gets a little bit of a head start on stuff.
Mhm.
Not as many vegetables as there is when the market's in full bloom, but you'll see there's some pickles and kale and beans and peas and things like that. And lots of crafty vendors are there too. So 9 to 1 on Saturdays.
Mhm.
On Fridays from 11 to 2 in the parking lot of City Center is food trucks. There's usually 4 of them or maybe 5. And you just kind of get your food from the food truck. You can walk over to the pavilion, which has got picnic tables and a cover over it, and have your lunch there. So
Sounds like a good plan.
Try
Flip
to
your
get to
calendar
those-
now Excellent. Flip your calendar now over to August. A couple things to put on the calendar for that month would be first, National Night Out. What is the date and how can residents get involved now?
So that's Tuesday, the 3rd of August. That's always the first Tuesday of the month. They tell me that they have party packs for 40 people registered, and they have a few party packs left. So if you haven't registered your event for the 3rd of August, do that. And then you'll have a party pack at City Hall to pick up. It's got plates and silverware and balloons and things like that in it. So the 3rd of August, and if you're filling out that and you're going to have a party, you should indicate that you want somebody to stop by. I run around with the police chief and the city manager, and we go to as many parties as we can get to. But you can also request the canine dog or a fire truck or, I don't know, a dump truck from the from the public works department, whatever works. So
that sounds fun.
They'll all be out helping.
Very nice. Another date to mark down is August 12th. That is Beyond the Yellow Ribbon. What have they got going on that date?
Well, they're doing an ice cream social at, I have to read this, Lakeview Terrace Pavilion, which is on 36th and Crystal Lake Boulevard in Robbinsdale. Because Beyond the Yellow Ribbon is actually quad communities, Crystal, New Hope, Robbinsdale, and Golden Valley. And so they're having this so that military connected families can meet other military connected families in the area. So this is a free ice cream social. Go and meet some of your fellow military folks.
Fantastic. And final note to pass along today is coming up on July 1st, the new superintendent arrives for the 281 school district.
Yep, we're getting a new superintendent. He'll be here on the 1st. I do not know his name. I have not met him, but I certainly will as soon as he gets here because his building's in our building. The other thing that's happening is Durham is a bus company, and Durham is taking over the busing from First Student. And so that transition will start about the 1st of July also. So if you see a lot of First Student buses on the streets, those buses will be going back to First Student's garage, wherever that is. And these Durham buses will come up. The other thing is they need bus drivers, lots of bus drivers.
Right.
And so there's signs in front of the 281 building about applying for a bus driver job. They tell me they're paying up to $20 an hour to be a bus driver. If you're a parent and you have small children, you can bring the children with you on the bus while you're driving the bus. They're also offering bonuses of $2,000 if you don't have whatever that CL
particular type of driving license. Sure.
Yeah. If you do have that, it's a $5,000 bonus, and they will train you. They said if you have to have had a driver's license for 3 years and be over 21, and they will train you to drive that bus. So if you're looking for a fun part-time job, even in the summer, there it is.
All right. Well, as you see, a lot of information, a lot of things going on in the city of New Hope. Go to the city's website to find out more, as always, newhopemn.gov. Mayor, we stayed dry. Didn't get any big booms in the background. So enjoy your day inside here, and we will look forward to talk again next week.
It's always nice to talk to you. Have a nice 4th of July. I don't talk to you before.
Thank you. Learn more about The Connection at ccxmedia.org and follow us on social media.